The case plan was completely initiated and developed by DFACS. CASA doesn't really have a whole lot of involvement in the case plans for the parents because, again, our role is specifically for the children. We take the care plans into consideration. We are aware of what those are, but we don't do a whole lot, as far as I know, that I've done, at least in my intern, of care plans for the parents. And I don't really think there are set care plans for the children. I think we just follow the care plans. That's what we have done anyway. While I've been there, follow the care plans, take them into consideration, keep up with the progress that has been made on them by the parent, kind of keep up with that and where we are as far as are they working their care plans, are they not working their care plans, because that's going to have a big impact on how long that kid is in their placement, when they'll get to go back with mom and dad, and all kinds of things like that. So when DFACS initiated this care plan with the mom, I keep wanting to say her name, with mom, there wasn't really any progress made. When I first came on in May, there was no progress being made at that point. It probably took about 6 months from the initial contact with the family until mom was finally stepping up and deciding that she was going to work her case plan. She was completed the parenting classes. She decided she was going to stop using drugs. She increased her visits. She wasn't really visiting at all before that point. No interventions were put into place by CASA at that point, just because nothing had been done. She was able to get proof of housing, which she just recently established here at the end of October. The results thus far, now that she's finally working her case plan, have been positive. We received proof of the housing. I've driven by and seen the outside of the apartment. I haven't been able to get inside yet, just due to scheduling conflicts. They said that they've been doing drug tests, and I guess she's been testing negative since she's looking like she's getting the kids back. The kids are thriving. They're enjoying their visits with mom. They don't have anything negative to report. At this point, the goals were very observable. They were very measurable. We can get the proof that she has completed her parenting classes. She has expressed an understanding of what that means as far as, what is expected of her. She was able to provide proof of the housing. We have the negative test for the drugs. She's expressed confidence. She hasn't had an opportunity to show confidence and to really take that role very much because of the limited visitation. But she's expressed confidence and a better understanding that even if it's not perfect, effort is better than nothing. Termination was discussed with the children from the very first visit when explaining who I was and what I did in a way that they could understand. They knew that I was just coming to visit and check on them and see how they were doing while they were living with grandma and grandpa. And once they went back with mom, I wouldn't really need to visit anymore because they would be back home. They were all understanding of that. They look forward to my visits. I explained I would only be around until I went to live with mom again. CASA is planning on recommending follow-up care for mom once she gets the kids back. And that's just to make sure that she doesn't get overwhelmed, and it's a big adjustment going from having no kids full-time to 3 little kids full-time, and we just want to make sure that she has the full support in that, and even have a parenting aide, recommend a parenting aide come in and just be there as backup, a listening ear, someone who can kind of give advice when issues come up and stuff like that. Just make sure everything go smoothly in the transition from to getting her kids back. It's been almost a year, so that's going to take some time to get used to for both mom and the kids. Comments about my performance on this case. I feel like overall I did a really good job. That is what has been told to me, expressed to me. There are some things that could have gone differently had I been solely the CASA on this case and not kind of taking it from an intern's perspective. Since I was coming at it from an intern view, I had a lot of other things going on as well as following this case. So I was going in and filling in all the gaps for the Brooks County kids, doing visits every weekend and following up on calls and all kinds of stuff like that for other kids and other cases. So I didn't have the full amount of time to focus specifically on the case that I had for this project and for this semester. If I was the regular CASA, I think more would be done as far as coordinating more with mom's caseworker, collaborating more with the counselors that the kids see through Pathways of Hope, getting some reports on that, seeing how they're doing, if there's any improvement, if there's any concerns that they have, stuff like that. And the things that I missed, the things I didn't have time to do because I was helping them cover all those other cases, they didn't just get ignored, they weren't just looked over, they were finished by, staff, CASA staff. They helped fill in the gaps, stuff like that, just because I wasn't able, to do 100% for that case, because often I was off doing stuff for other cases. I could have spent more time with the kids. I could have spent more time with mom, separately and together. Given all that and given the time that I had to give, I believe that I did do my best. I know that I did perform to my expectations and above expectations as far as me being an intern and a CASA. So that's good. I know they're very happy to have me, and I was very happy to help for both semesters. I know weaknesses that I had in the first semester and just anxieties that I've had have turned into strengths. I was very concerned about home visits and just being in that environment and that uncertainty of not knowing what you're going to walk into before you get there is kind of a strength. I feed off of that anxiety, and instead of it working me up, I just use it to kind of pump myself up and get myself ready to see these kids and be positive and make sure that I'm I lost my train of thought. That I'm there and I'm making sure that they have all of their needs covered, that I'm alert and focused in identifying their issues. The older kids, seeing what they need, seeing what they want to tell the judge. I can walk into a home and not really think twice about it. Not worry about bugs or issues or holes and stuff like that, because it's not really about me. It's about the kids. And I've been able to kind of shift my focus from anxiety about what I'm going to see to excitement that this is another kid I'm meeting that I might be able to help. So confidence is one of those issues that I've definitely been working on. Confidence and being able to walk into a home and looking at it without bias and identifying what the real issues are and focusing on safety concerns and not so much, is this how I feel the kid should be living? Is this good enough for them? Because good enough is enough if they're safe and taken care of and have their needs met. Good enough is enough. It doesn't have to be the best. It doesn't have to be the richest. It doesn't have to be the most luxurious. It doesn't have to be the prettiest. It doesn't have to be the newest. Sometimes good enough is enough if they're taken care of and they're safe and they're fed and they're loved. And I think the last thing I want to point out is being more confident in bringing forward my own ideas. Instead of just looking at the box and this is what we do and I've checked all of those boxes. I can do that. Anybody can do that. But I think when you can go in and check those boxes and bring in other ideas about things that could be done or done differently, it's a tough field, and anything that can help make it easier, I think would benefit not just the kids, but even the staff members and people that have to work in this career. And being able to bring forward your ideas, even if they don't take off, even if they're put on the back burner, it's still important. If you have an idea, if you have something that you think might make things easier or might help the next new person do things a little better, to bring those forward and express them and share them, because you never know, it could be the next big idea and it could help other kids. So that's it. I guess that's the end of my presentation.